let's say we've got an antenna. Here's an antenna, okay? And it's a dipole. You can tell it's a dipole. So we know it's omnidirectional. Let's say that's on the ceiling like that, okay? Now let's say that ceiling is very, very high. Okay, it's a very high ceiling and you've got an omni. Remember, the pattern of an omni doesn't have much RF above or below. So this pattern is out to the side like that. Underneath, there's not as much. The higher you go, the more that's going to be noticeable. Okay? Underneath, you won't have as good a signal as way out there. This is the mistake that a lot of people do. If that's really high, and I mean really high, like a warehouse loading dock, right? Really high.
Down to omnidirectional.
No. What they will do is they'll say, okay, this is what dumb people do. They'll say we need a higher gain antenna because they're not getting signal here, so let's go higher gain. But you now know, if that's up there and you get a higher gain omni, what's going to happen? You just said, yeah? What does that mean? If I get a higher gain antenna...
It's going to be...
Nope.
It's going to be...
Nope. That angle that was down here, like, because this is transmitting, like, within my hands, right? The higher gain, the more directional it's going to be, so that's going to be thinner. Okay? So if that's up there and it's really high, people say, oh, I've got nothing, I've got no signal. Let's put a high gain antenna, because they see high gain and it sounds good. Means directionality. So they're going to put a highly directional antenna up there. It's going to be worse. Okay? If it's really high, as you said, get a low gain downward. Get an access point or a patch antenna or a different type of antenna that is directional. So if you had a directional antenna up here pointing down, not an omni, you have a directional antenna pointing down. Well, let's say its gain is, I don't know, like that. If you want a bigger area, you need a lower gain. Because lower gain means less directional, okay? The higher gain means it's only going to be in the smaller area.